Well, good morning. Do you know if Joanna is joining us?
I have no idea what she's doing. She's in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Sorry.
Oklahoma!
So she's not here. Okay, that's okay. I thought she would be here.
All right. Well, I think we should get started. Oh, there we go. There she is. Miss the top of her head.
Yeah, there's your forehead. Hi.
Hi, top of Joanna's head. How are you doing? Good morning. All right. Well, Joanna seems to be either frozen or...
Chris, I think you're frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen.
You were frozen.
All right.
All right. Hi. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the beginning of our Keynote Mastermind group. I'd like to start today with an invocation. I'd like to invite us all to bring our best and highest selves to this meeting, to bring our insight, our intellect, to bring our perspective, to encourage each other to be the best that we can be. And I really look forward to hearing all of what you guys have to say and your input. So I thank you for being here.
Morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's start real quickly with new and good, and then we'll get into our first speech. I'll go first. New and good, I am gainfully unemployed as of yesterday. I'm very excited about it because I'm going to start working on my book. I have a half-hour show that I'm doing in May, and I intend to do all new material. So that'll probably give me about an hour. If someone asked me to do stand-up, I could headline.
Nice.
About the time. So I'm excited. Look at me. I got all gussied up this morning.
That is good, man. That's awesome.
All right, Matthew, you're next.
Well, I want to move to Southern California now. I was out there for work. And that's the best place in the world. And I'm working on about 3 hours of sleep. Got in real late last night, so having fun.
All right.
Great.
And apparently your morning ritual is to chew some gum. Nice.
Yeah, it is now.
All right, I'll go in order that it's on the screen here. Brian, what's doing good, buddy?
What's doing good? Looks like I sold 7 houses this week.
Wow.
So business is going. So that's what's doing good with me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is great news.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I think a little more enthusiasm, but I understand that there's a lot going on for you. But
there is a lot. Yeah.
just saying, from my perspective, that's pretty darn impressive since I've never sold one. Just like
Yes.
Well, the average real estate agent does 6 deals a year. So
now
I
that,
did 7 in a week.
well, that's what I like to hear in your voice. A little bit of enjoyment about that. That is awesome. Congratulations. All right, Joanna, what's doing good with you?
I got asked to be a panelist and a presenter for an ePro convention that is coming to Oklahoma in May.
Oh, cool.
And the international, well, it's through the National Association of Realtors, so it's a sanctioned event. It's not just a bunch of agents trying to sell you something. So I'm excited about that. And my broker recommended me, and the coordinator called me and had done his research and said, "You're one of the people we need." So that was exciting.
Oh, that is
I
very
tell Brian
exciting.
that 7 houses means we haven't talked since Tuesday, except for like 5 minutes yesterday. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, guys.
Well, excellent. All right, Matt, would you mind being the timekeeper today since I'm going to be speaking?
You got it.
All right.
What's the time doing? What are you doing?
Brian and myself are going to be speaking 15 minutes. Then we're going to have 15 minutes of feedback, and then we'll do our close this morning. I will start just because I don't know if Brian's going to be moving on to his computer. So if you could do 15 minutes for me, and Joanna, would you do me a favor? I'd like you to give me an intro. This is really the beginning of what the seminar that I'd like to be working on together with Matt, and also probably the start that I would use when I come out to your Chicago event for the realtors. So that's kind of the beginning of it. So you could just do a brief intro for me, and then I'll get started into my speech. Okay?
Sure. Will you tell me the right way to say your last name? Is it
Knierim, like you're near him, only really say it fast.
I just want to butcher it, the first time I do your introduction. I'd like y'all to help me welcome Chris Knierim with ABC Speakers Bureau from California. He's here to motivate us, inspire us, and I can assure you, entertain us. Please welcome Chris Knierim.
Thank you, Joanna. So what do you want? All right, this isn't a rhetorical question. I seriously want you to think about what do you want. See, because choice is your superpower, and your first super choice is deciding what you want. So I'll ask you again, what do you want? Do you want a new car? Is it a Lexus? Is it a Pinto? What is it? What do you want? Do you want more money? If so, how much? Do you want a hug? What do you want? So many people struggle because they never decide what they want. So I'm going to encourage you to think about this. So Matt, what would you like? Give me one thing that you want.
To move to Southern California.
To move to Southern California because there's so many handsome people there. Joanna, what do you want? Give me one thing that you want.
I want my pool to be clear and open.
There you go. We have somebody who wants to move to Southern California and somebody who wants a clean pool. Brian, what do you want?
I want to sell 1,000 deals this year.
He wants to sell 1,000 houses a year. And I just learned that the average real estate broker only sells 6 houses a year. That's an aggressive goal. I like it. What do you want? Truly, that is the first super choice you can make. So I'm going to give you a little story here. I'm a middle child. And I say that because middle childers known as the people pleasers. Well, I grew up and I was good at math and science. That's code for I was a nerd. Okay. But my parents always said, you're good at math and science, you should be an engineer. Now, my parents had no clue what an engineer did. They just thought I was good at math and science. It sounded good that my son was going to be an engineer. Now, I didn't know what I wanted in high school. I know I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted to play basketball. But as far as a career, I had no clue. So what did I do? I listened to my parents. I went to school and I studied engineering. And I struggled with it. I'll really tell you, I struggled with it because I don't know if it's really what I wanted to do. It took me 6 years to get my engineering degree. And I got my engineering degree, and then I went to get a job. And I got a job as, surprisingly, an engineer. I was an environmental engineer, and I am an environmentalist, let you know. I got a degree as an environmental engineer, and I was working as an engineer 2 years at this job. And I had a moment that changed my life forever. I ruptured my Achilles tendon while I was playing football with some of my friends. And why this changed my life was very simple. It was on my right leg. I had a cast up to my thigh. I couldn't drive myself to work. And one of the older engineers would have to drive me to work. So I got on my crutches, got into the car, crutched up to my little cubicle. I was fortunate my little cubicle had a window, and it was the winter. And I watched the sun rise from my cubicle. Then I watched the sun set from my cubicle, and I got my crutches, got back in the car, and he drove me back home. And I did that for about 6 weeks. And I sat there and I went, what am I doing here? I had that moment. I said, what am I doing? Is this what I want? You know, one of the key things of integrity, and this is from Stephen Covey, he says, you have to be able to sacrifice what you want now for what you want eventually. So I took a serious look. I said, is this what I want? And I looked at 5 years down the road and I said, is that what I want to be doing? I said, no. Okay. 10 years down the road, is this what I want to be doing? And I said, no. 20 years down the road, is this what I want to be doing? And I said, no. And I went, what am I doing? And that's when I decided to quit to become a stand-up comic. Now, most people with common sense, as you would imagine engineers are known to have, would keep their day job and then do stand-up comedy at night. But apparently, that is not the way that I think. I quit my job. I was in New Jersey working as an engineer and went into New York City to start becoming a stand-up comic. Now, I don't recommend, by the way, that you definitely quit your day job if you're not enjoying it, especially if you have children, which is what I have right now. But I do recommend that you seriously look at what you want. What do you want from your career? What do you want your finances to look like? What do you want your relationship to look like? What do you want? To look at those things, write them down, and decide what exactly what it is you want and how that looks for you. So if I'm here and we have a bunch of realtors today, let's say, how many houses do you want to sell like Brian? You know, do you want your pool to be clean? All those things are things that you want. So I'm going to encourage all of you to make this super choice. I'll let you know, I wish I could tell you that, oh my goodness, I ended up on, you know, my story ended with me being a celebrated stand-up comic. But that's not the way my story ended. I actually performed at Caroline's. I booked a national network commercial for Afrin nasal spray. I was up for the host for the Sci-Fi Channel. It's one of those fishing stories. I was this close to becoming a host of the Sci-Fi. I would think I would have made a great host, by the way. Okay, I am just nerdy enough and strange enough to be a great host. But I got really sick. And I think a lot of it was just the stress of I wasn't making a lot of money. And I don't know if I really had a very clear goal other than I didn't want that and I wanted to make people laugh. I didn't have a clear goal of what I wanted to be as a stand-up comic. So I ended up leaving stand-up comedy and I really thought I had, you know, checked that chapter of my life. And then I went into the very lucrative career of primary school education. That was sarcasm. I just want to make sure we're all tracking. Okay. Not profitable. Loved it though. Taught for 3 years. Fantastic. Thought I was going to do it the rest of my life. And then I met my wife and she messed up all my plans. That's a joke. She's heard it before. She was working at a corporate Fortune 50 company as project manager, and they needed a corporate trainer. Me, not lacking in self-esteem from having done stand-up comedy in New York City, by the way. If you want to build self-esteem and survive it, stand-up comedy, New York City, way to go. I said to my wife, I could do that job. They needed a corporate trainer for her project that she was working on, and I said I could do that job. That led to a 13-year career in corporate training. I love to teach, and I love to make people laugh. And to get back to the stand-up comedy thing, I was, about 6 months ago, I started thinking about, again, what is it that I do? And you know what came up? Stand-up comedy. Since I've made that decision, I've performed in LA at the Comedy Store. I performed at the Improv. I did a half-hour show at a dive bar. I get to check that off on my resume. Dive bar, Anaheim. So there's the other key elements here. First, you have to decide what you want. Second is you have to take some kind of action. So I went from not performing stand-up comedy for 10-something years to starting to perform stand-up comedy. And I just found places and venues to go. Then it led to me getting into the Improv, which is, I had a 15-minute set at the Improv about 2 weeks ago. And I'll tell you, it was the best set I've ever done. because I really know that this is something that I want to do. So you have to take action, decide what you want, you have to take action, and then you have to take 100% responsibility for whether that action is getting you close to your goal. So those are the three elements, but today I really want to focus on deciding what you want. So I want to do something here real quickly, is I would like you to think about 3 things that you want. And if you have a phone, you can write them, you can put them into your phone, or if you have a piece of paper, I'd like you to write them down right now. Not later, not tonight, not homework. I'd like you to take this moment and to write down 3 things that you want. Clean pool, 1,000 deals, move to California, whatever that is, I would like it have you write that down. Please do that now. I'll give you 2 minutes. All right, Matt, looks like you're done. Joanna, do you need another minute? You're good? Okay. Brian, since I can't see you, I just assume that you've done this intellectually in your head if you're on a phone call. All right. Now you have 3 things that you want. Could be, like we had spoken about, clean pool, could be 1,000 deals, could be a Porsche 911. I don't know, whatever it is. So I'm actually now going to give you homework. And the homework is, does anybody want to guess what it is? Anybody want to guess what the homework is? Matthew, do you want to take a guess?
Figure out how to get what you want.
What's that?
Figure out how to get what you want.
Ooh, ding, 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 ding. Give him a cookie. Yes. You have to think about what is the step that is going to get you closer to what you want. In other words, you have to take some kind of action. So your homework for today is you have 3 things that you decided or you wrote down that you wanted, and I want you to go home and I want you to write down 3 things that you're going to do for each one of those. 3 plus 3, that's 9 things that you're going to do to get you closer to those 3 goals that you wrote. And then the last thing you're going to do, and this is kind of the long-term homework assignment, this is the one you do tonight, and then the one that you do during the week, is you have to analyze those actions and find out if they actually got you closer to your goal. And guess what? If they don't get you closer, you're going to choose a different action. That's the way it works. Any book you read, any successful person, they do 3 things. They know exactly what they want. They have made that decision. They take action on that decision, and then they analyze, decide whether those actions are getting closer to their goals. That's it. That's the magic formula. The better that you get at all 3 of those things, the more successful you'll be. I thank you for your time. I appreciate your listening to me, and I turn it back over to Joanna. Thank you.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
We're all better off for that conversation with you. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. All right. Just to remind everybody, we're going to provide feedback. We're going to do this in a very specific format. The format is what worked well for you, and then what the improvement opportunities, what you thought would have worked a little better. It's always important to start kind of off with what worked, kind of get people ready for maybe the things that their improvement opportunities are. There's also some other things that I want to remind people of is that we want to talk about, did the speaker connect? In this case, it's me. Did I connect with you? Right? Did I get my message across? Right? And did that message resonate with you? So those are kind of the 3 key areas. Matthew, since you're top of the list here on the screen for me, would you mind going first and providing feedback?
Yeah, absolutely. Just so you know, you went like 12 minutes and 37 seconds there. So
Okay.
good timing for you. Yeah, what I really liked was the stories. I mean, the stories, really brought everything together, especially being clear on what you want. I think a lot of people can relate to the sitting in the cube or working something and hating it, or not even hating it, just like, this isn't it. You know what I mean? When you were talking about that, I'm like, yeah. There, or like, and everything. Yeah, like I said, the personal stories were great, man. All right, can you still see me?
I can.
Okay, I'm sorry, my thing's saying I'm having internet issues, but yeah, I really liked it. One thing I think I might change is you started out very just, what do you want? And I understand that, but after you kind of got through that and you went through your story about, I needed to decide what I wanted, I almost thought that would have been a better place then to kind of bring the hammer a little bit. Because like right off the bat, you're like, hi, I'm Chris, what do you want? And be like, whoa, you know what I mean? And since I know where you're coming from, I get it, but it felt abrupt. I'm working on 4 hours of sleep too, though. So, but yeah, after you were telling your story about, I did what my parents wanted, I think that would have been a really great time just to be like, so what do you want? You know what I mean? I think that abrupt might have worked a little better after the story, kind of a way to get into it. So, and I guess if you do that, maybe you start off with just a little bit about, like kind of an overview of what you're about to talk about. I want to help you figure out what you want in life. I want to help you figure out your goals. One of those things is you got to figure out what you want. Let me tell you how my story started. I don't know. That's just a suggestion because, like I said, I liked it. I just would have flipped them around a little bit. So, I don't know. We'll hear some other feedback though too. So, what was another one? Oh, the other thing I thought that was really good was the thing about not having a clear goal. I really like the idea of you saying, I knew what I didn't want, but I wasn't specific what I wanted with the comedy. So it was fun and good, but you were kind of spinning your wheels. You weren't working towards something. And I think that's very important. That's a really good point of saying you got to be clear on what you want, not just on what you don't want. Otherwise, you might just kind of stay in a place and not really work towards something. So yes, you connected with me. I definitely got your message on that, and it definitely resonated. So overall, I thought it was great, man.
First, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate you caring enough to give that to me. Well, see, where do I learn that one from? All right. Anyway, I had a thought. You made me think of something, and maybe this will help a little bit. Was in the second part of the stand-up story, I should have said. So now I'm going to tell you what my goals are in stand-up.
Yeah.
Right. And so my goal is before my 54th birthday. On or before my 54th birthday, I will have appeared on The Tonight Show, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and Saturday Night Live. Now I have very clear goals.
Yeah.
All right. Seriously, thank you for your feedback. I appreciate it.
Right. You got it. Good job.
Brian, how about you?
Here, come back to me. Go Joanna first.
All right. Joanna, the ball's been passed to you.
First of all, apologize for my first answer. I'm not awake. What worked well? You were like a Paul McCartney concert. Like you got what you wanted when you started, and then it just kept getting better and better and better. Like your enthusiasm and your passion, your power in the conversation was it really amped up, and it was fun. I tried the super choice was the turning point for me. What is a super choice? I don't know about super choices. I want to make super choices, like beyond human powers. So I love that terminology. And I loved that you gave action plans that weren't out of every success book. I mean, they are from what we know, but it's not, it didn't sound like, oh, we've heard this before, we'll disregard this comment. So the words that you used, it brought authority to what you were saying, but it didn't sound like everybody else. So, and what would work better is I agree with Matt. I think he pinpointed a little bit better about why the start was a little slow to actually warm up. It took me a minute to connect with you. And like Matt, I knew where you were going with this, and I mean, it's a question I pretty much get asked every day. So I think either rearranging it or gaining some trust with your audience first, so that they want to answer that question. They're not taken aback by it or feeling on the spot, but it did have the effect of, oh man, do I know what I want? I mean, it did make you pause because it was sort of striking and caught me off, but it didn't, I didn't connect with you soon enough with that particular boldness in the beginning.
Okay. Anything else?
That was great. I love where that's going. It's very good content.
All right. All right. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, you had a hint of hangry. You had that hint of hangry. Like, does he need to eat?
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. I wanted to experiment with this. I'll be honest with you. I've seen some speakers come out and be like that. So it's kind of a point where I wanted to play with it, and this is the environment to play with it, right? Because the idea here is really kind of, Joanna, what you said is for people to go, oh crap, who's this guy? Why is he asking me like, it was really kind of an idea to shock people a little bit. The question is could I bring it back and still reconnect, right? So it's kind of like you whack somebody in the face and you go, sorry, now there's a reason I did that. No, so, but it might need a little tweaking if both of you felt a little, because you guys know me. And if you,
I think that would work if you got to the how I'm going to help you figure it out pretty quick. And obviously when we're sitting in front of a computer and we're not on stage and we're not as animated as that would come across. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's where your goal is. I think you hit it. It's just, I think you could get to the connection part faster for that to have the impact that you want.
No, it's good feedback. It's like I said, this is where I wanted to play with it as opposed to do it in front of a live audience,
Yeah.
But I think there's a way to get both. So that's my challenge. And I do appreciate the feedback. I really do. Brian!
Yes.
I know you have some comments. Yes.
Okay, so where are we going? The 3 questions. Did you connect? Did you get message across? What was the 3rd that we're going after today?
Resonate.
Did you get your message across? Did that message impact, resonate with you?
Did it resonate? Okay. So I clearly see improvements for some visuals. Hence, I'm on the phone, so I have nothing to look at. So
I got that.
That was funny. I thought that was funny. I guess not.
Well, I had great slides. Neither one of you commented on my slides.
See, I did, because I can't see them. So I think if you had visuals, it would be better. Okay. So the first part of that, you were speaking to the right audience right off the bat. Okay, because to me it's like if I'm a real estate agent and that's who you're talking to in that particular audience, and all right, it's early in the morning, who's this guy, why am I here, I guess I'm humoring somebody else by being here for this, I guess I told the person in my office I'd come to this event, whatever it is, whatever, who's on my phone, who's texting me, what bullshit deal am I pretending to work on my phone, and this guy comes up and says, what do you want? So I thought that was good for that particular audience, because most of that audience is checking their phones every 5 seconds to grab their attention, shake them up and rattle them. So I think for certain audiences where you may not always have their attention, I think it's great. I liked it. I know other people wouldn't like it, but it gets the attention, and it's like, hey, this is what I want. And then it's like, oh my God, is he going to call on me? What do I want? I don't know what I want. Hey, somebody else said they wanted this. Oh, that was interesting. So there's almost a fear of getting called on in school type of thing. So I like that, as long as you can recover from that. Personally, it's, so. And then I connected to the story that you're going through, because I'm listening to a story, and it's like, all right, New Jersey, I know this guy's in California. What's going on with this? And just listening to the story, just connecting the story of that. And I think one of the things he said is, if you ever want to do stand-up comedy, do it in New York type of thing. You'll learn. I mean, whatever you said on that, I was like, well, that's interesting. I would imagine it'd be tough in New York. So, yeah, it was good. It's so interesting, the tone, the expression, the mannerisms that I can hear over the phone versus see in person. Mm-hmm. And it's like asking me to watch your presentation with my eyes closed. It's interesting. It is really interesting perspective to hear. And Chris, if you want to do that sometime, watch the video, but just listen to it. Listen to what you say, but don't look at everything else on it. So just, close your eyes and listen to it, or for feedback for yourself. I can't really describe it. So, but yeah, I like that.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I guess that's a good awareness for us to have, is what if this was a podcast, right? Or what if I'm listening to this in my car? Do you have the vocal inflection to keep people engaged? Because that's a big part of the speaking. I mean, I've been doing, corporate training for a long time on some really boring topics, and I'm like, I got to move this around, baby. Right. I don't know if I did any voices, but I have a tendency to just do weird voices in the middle of my presentations. People are like, why is he talking like an old timey prospector? But thank you for that, Brian. And that's why I was kind of curious. It's why I wanted to experiment with this idea of coming in and being like in people's face, like a really kind of a shocker. And then like, so what do you want? No, I'm not messing around. I'm like, I actually want you to do this. And then asking people, what do you want? Because it's like, oh man, I guess there's no not playing with this guy. I mean, I can't do something else, because he might be calling on me like, you on the phone. I'm talking to you. Instead said, Steve, what do you want? Well, I want to look at my phone right now. You want to get in front of them. So yeah, I do really appreciate the feedback, everybody. This is what this is for. This is our playground to figure out, try different ideas, get some constructive feedback, and do it. So again, once again, I appreciate it. All right, Brian, do you want to do I know you had I think it was like a pitch that you were working on. So you're up next. You want an intro, or you just want to get started?
Well, I am overly prepared for today, since I've been busy with work. So what I'd like to ask the group is for help with this.
Sure.
I'd like to, because basically my understanding is I got somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes to basically advertise the Success Principles workshop I'm doing the next week. And trying to figure out, what Joanna's role in that is, how to incorporate her in some of this stuff too. And how to do this. Do I just do it? Does she just do it? Do we do it together? It's really the purpose of doing the workshop is to recruit people to our group for real estate. That's what we want to do. We want them on our team, the right people. I want them to see who we are and what we can do. And it's been a bit of a challenge because people don't know who I am in that office.
Okay.
So it's really been a challenge to try to figure out how to incorporate me and Joanna into that, or just try to get what message we're trying to get across in the prep of it. Just saying, hey, look, this will be, I think it's Thursday, the 20th of April, if I'm looking at my calendar right, and then the 25th is the actual workshop, which will be a monthly workshop for 3 hours.
So Brian, I'd say this. You have 10 minutes right now. Sell me,
Yep.
me, Matt, on what you and Joanna want to do. Just do it. We're here. We
All right.
we said, hey, I've got a workshop. What is that about? And just work it out. So I'm interested in real estate, Brian. So tell me about yourself. I heard you had a workshop or something?
That's where I'm just drawing. I have this. I'm just totally drawing a blank on everything because so much is going on at the same time. Oh, well, I can start with that. That's perfect. You know?
I could do an intro.
There you go. So let's just do it.
So I'm so glad that we had a minute to talk to you guys about what's coming up next week. I could tell you in the last couple of years, and especially since we've adopted using success principles in our daily lives and our daily business, our world has greatly changed. I went from renting a little bitty house to co-owning one of my dream homes to expanding my real estate career to making some of my personal dreams come true. And Brian is the perfect messenger to share that information with us. So let me introduce him so we can get started and give us a little preview of coming attractions for the workshop next week.
Great. Thank you, Joanna. So, has anybody been busy lately in real estate?
I haven't.
I'm usually. You haven't? Oh, okay.
Just can't seem to.
All right.
Can't seem to close a deal.
Huh. All right. Well, last year I sold 110 deals, and my goal this year is to do 1,000 deals. Well, now why would I do that? How do I know how to do that? I made some huge changes in my life. Joanna's made some huge changes in her life. And we know what we're doing. And we're on track. And we're going to get to our goals. And we're having fun doing it. And over the past year, I've made more changes in my life than I've made in the past 20 years. It's been absolutely incredible. It's been a wild ride. So on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, from 1 to 4, I'm holding a monthly Success Principles workshop. It'll be here in the office, and you're welcome to invite your friends, your family, other agents, whoever you'd like, because this is about getting from where you are to where you want to be. And if you guys are not where you want to be right now, this is absolutely crucial. If you are where you want to be, God bless you. That's fantastic. So I'm going on a journey, and if anybody wants to join me on that journey, I'm happy to share that experience with everybody here. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm going to find out who's done what I want to do. I'm going to study with the masters. I'm going to build a team. I'm going to pay the price. I'm going to do it now. So if you want to learn more about that, Tuesday, 1 to 4. But also remember, this doesn't have to be about real estate. This could be about, hey, if you want to lose some weight, if you want to have a better relationship with your family, and be a millionaire, whatever you want to be, from where you are now to where you want to be. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.
Joanna, do you want to jump back in?
What's that?
So Joanna, do you want to jump back in?
In this situation, I wouldn't know. It'd be on to the next conversation, so there wouldn't really be a wrap up on in this particular moment.
All right. So I guess we're into feedback then.
Okay. Yeah, start with me.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, no, I just got one question real quick. Are your just so I know, are your 1,000 deals a personal thing or like an office goal?
Wow.
1,000 deals under my name. I get paid on 1,000 deals.
But does that include like reps you've hired or is, I mean,
Yeah.
is that just?
Oh yeah. Because I'm not an office. I'm just a team.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, cool.
At the moment, we do want to have our own office too.
Okay.
So, yeah, or something better.
All right. So I'm gonna start with the feedback. Joanna, first, I really liked your intro. I did. I immediately connected and you said, hey, I want to talk about it. I really liked what you're saying, the way you warmed up on it. The improvement opportunity was, I really kind of wanted you to see, it's like, I've achieved some personal goals. What personal goals? Like, I think that would be a good opportunity to talk about, look, I got to travel to this country and help put shoes on children. That's one of those things that just drives me past. Like that kind of a story, that little extra detail is going to pull me in more, right? As opposed to, I just did this, this, and this. So an improvement opportunity for me would have been, give me some more detail. I liked what I heard in the beginning and I wanted more, right? And yours was just a brief intro. So I think you could do that. My suggestion might be is I love to bookend things just in general. So if you're going to do the intro and Brian's going to do the middle, I would say close it, right? So if that's going to be your structure, you come back, Brian, thank you so much. Just so you know, I want to let you know, I've worked with Brian. This is what we've achieved together. He really knows what he's doing. He really wants to help you do what you want to do. Like, it's almost like you tie that piece together, you bookend it. I'm introducing him, and then I'm going to do my little thing at the end and go, oh yes, what a great team. I think that would, for me, might have worked a little better. That's why I kind of was trying to get you to do that. And then you can transition to your next topic, right? All right, so just kind of think of it like a storyline, or a storyline. I got to do it this way if I'm doing it on the screen. So, Brian, you can tell that you really know what you're doing. And for me, I wanted more. I was kind of like, I achieved my goals and these kind of things. I wanted to know more why you set an aggressive goal. That's for me. I was kind of like, look, I did 110 meals. I mean, really, I was really excited about that. And I decided, what's a breakthrough goal for me? And for some reason, 1,000 came into my head. A little more detail on that, I think would have been juicy, and explaining that. And so, again, for me, if you're trying to get me to join you, I think a tweak might be, and here's one of the things that I really liked was this journey. You used the word journey and join me. That theme, I think, would be something that I would bring up earlier. Look, 1,000 deals, and I know I can't do it alone. I know to get to 1,000 deals, I need to have a great team. I need to have a team that's aligned to these kind of lofty goals. So for me to achieve what I want to achieve, I know I have to make you successful, the people who work with me. So what is your goal in real estate? My goal is to help you achieve that. And I know if I become great at helping you get what you want, the goals that I'm on are going to come through. That kind of twist there, I think, is what's going to pull people in. I was kind of waiting for you to do that because, you said, I achieved this and I achieved this and I achieved this. Remember, I want to be the important person. Me. Right. I want to be the one that's important, right? So make me important in that pitch that you're doing, and I think you're going to nail it. Use that thing. I'm going on this journey, right? And I'm going to help you get whatever you want. And I'm not just talking about real estate. I'm talking about your personal life too. This isn't all about work. I'm going to teach you those principles that not only make you successful at work, make your relationship better, make your, maybe it is that, you want to, be healthier or whatever that is. All these goals that will help you in business are going to help you in your personal life. And I care about you if you're on my team, and I want you to achieve those things, like that kind of a thing. And I'm just kind of throwing off the top of my head, but you know, that whole idea of a team, like I'm going to achieve my goals by helping you achieve yours, I think you were right. It was like you were right talking around it. And I thought, you know, there was just a little tweak and I think it would have been good. And I really like the end, you know, I'll do whatever it takes to, and I was saying to help you, right? Like those kind of terms, like, considering I put you on the spot and I know you weren't prepared, I have to tell you, I connected. I think I would have connected a little more if you'd made those little tweaks. So that's kind of my feedback.
Yeah, Brian, Joanna, I agree with Chris. Now, were we kind of figuring this was just a conversation with people versus a presentation, right? This is just kind of a, hey, we're talking to you about coming to our workshop. Is that what you were thinking too, Joanna?
It sounds like, and this is new information to me, it sounds like they're giving us a minute at the meeting the week before to tell them what's coming up the next week. So we've got to be a little careful with the recruiting within the office conversations, but I know we can use that same information as far as just being fellow realtors. We've benefited from these. We'd love for you to have the same experience. So I think we can get that team message across without like hard pitching and recruitment
Okay.
in front of our, team leaders.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good to know, because I thought Chris made some really good points there. It's definitely more about the people you're recruiting versus your own success, but your success is like what gets them excited about what they can expect. And I agree. I think the 1,000 deals were exciting. The journey, Chris, you're right. The journey word was great. I did too. I thought you should hype up the successes you two have had. Joanna, you mentioned owning your dream home, and Brian closing the deals. Tie it back into the principles that I'm going to teach you at this seminar. This is what's, like Chris said, this is how it's going to benefit you. And I can see why you wouldn't want to then recruit so hard at that first thing or whatever. So you can leave that for the actual workshop, I guess, a little bit more of like, this is who we are. This is our culture. This is what we do ongoing. I can see how you can throw that in as well. But yeah, it's definitely that. I mean, you guys are in sales. I'm not sure if you've ever heard FAB before, but it's features, advantages, benefits. Like Chris said, great for your success. What about me? You know what I mean? Everyone, that's just what they want to hear. So, yeah, I think, add that in. I own my dream home. I can teach you how to own your dream home. I closed 6 to 7 deals this week. I can teach you the principles and habits so you can have that success. Right? I'm on a journey. And if you want to figure, in this, maybe if you're not recruiting, but I'm on a journey and I want to show you how, and I'm here to help you. Maybe we can, and like Chris said, you can tie it into other stuff too. But yeah, I think that's all you need to do is tweak it a little bit, is tie the successes into the principles, because that's what I teach and that's what you're going to learn to be successful. So yeah, just a little bit of tying in like that. And Brian too, I did like your willingness and determination, especially at the end, like, I'm going to get this done and I don't care what it takes. You know what I mean? And part of my fun is teaching others how to get this done. I want to be part of a great group. I want to be part of a great team, whatever it is. But yeah, that part I thought was really good, and that was really motivating. So I think you guys are right there, especially right on the spot this morning.
All right, Brian, how do you feel about the feedback?
Does Joanna have feedback?
Well, I was just going to echo the about you and about the audience. That's what I wrote down, because yeah, they don't know how much you care till they know, or they don't care what you know until they know how much you care. And it's a cool thing for us to be able to say we came to Keller Williams because this is in your culture. The culture here is in line with what we've come to believe is true about this. So it gave me some good ideas of how we can add that even to our recruitment conversations. So, and I think more than ever, it might be important to figure out if this bookends the right way to do this on a bigger scale, or even from the intro scale. Chris, that was very helpful to hear from you, because I am the front line in the recruitment situation. I mean, they're going to see Brian, this rock star of an agent. How do we become a part of that? And I kind of pull that in of, well, if it's somebody you want to talk to. So that the bookend idea was hugely helpful. And then I really just probably echo what you guys said of here are the successes and here's how we can help you do it. And making sure, and I've got all about the audience, all about who we want there.
Cool.
Right. Hey, now, Joanna, I have a question for you. Now, because I don't know the relationship, how it works. Like for you, did you learn some of these principles from Brian and then?
Oh, I've been to BTS twice and I've been Train the Trainer online.
Okay. So what I would say is like in your intro, it's like, look, this is why Brian and I work together so well, is because we have an alignment on the basic principles or core principles of what make people successful. And Brian has expertise on how to apply those principles, not only in his own personal life, but in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of tie-in.
Got it. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, because you guys are like-minded. That's why you're together. Or that's why you work together. That's why you're in a relationship, whatever. You know what I mean? It's all those pieces because you're in alignment. So those kind of pieces, like what Matthew said, it's like, look, we're going to teach you these principles because we're excited about it, right? This is our culture, and it's important for us. We want to teach people, these ideas. And then recruitment comes out naturally out of that, like, well, I want to learn that stuff. I want to be on his team, that kind of thing. So thank you for that. I just want to get a little clarification. Since you've been to BTS twice, those kind of things, like, these principles too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian's the rock star as far as applying them to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So maybe there's something there.
Well, that you just made a good point. And he definitely has in the personal life too, but I think my examples are pretty drastic as far as getting to take a service trip that changed hundreds of lives, traveling around the world, and within 1 year's time using my passport on a quarterly basis. I mean, just things like the before and after I was using, and then Brian's successes are pretty obvious to most people in the real estate world, and particularly in this venue. Mm-hmm. So that's good feedback. Thank you for it.
Okay. All right, we got about 5 minutes or 6 minutes left. So Brian, how'd the feedback feel for you?
Good. It's, what I was taking away is just go that one step further with the why am I doing it, and then the connect to them, why am I doing it for them? I think that's absolutely crucial that that's why I feel blocked right now with everything else that's going on is I'm not feeling the love to do it for anybody else at the moment because I'm struggling just to do it for myself and Joanna. So hopefully that'll become more clear on that. But yeah, I don't want people to go through the pain that I've gone through, and I maybe that's where I'm going to try to connect with them. And I really hate, just giving examples of that. In real estate, I've been through the ups and downs, and I don't want to see anybody else go through that pain. And I don't want to see people go through that pain and like, right, if they have success in real estate, do they have a success with their personal lives too? So going into those things is, I've seen the pain, I've been through the pain. I want to help people not go through that pain.
That's good.
That's good. I get just you talking like that. I was feeling very connected to the message, and and I haven't gone through real estate pain. So, but I was like, but that's what people want to do. They were like, oh yeah, that kind of sucks when that happens. You have a better way? Oh, like they get excited about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next week I am gainfully unemployed, like I said, so I am going to intend to reach out to some more people for the group. I think are we looking for 2 more people, just to clarify, or just 1?
Well, I would look at one at a time is what I'd recommend doing.
All right.
And yeah, I was trying to call you earlier in the week about that. So I didn't know who you were reaching out to or whatnot, but we discussed a few names.
Yeah,
last couple weeks.
I think I'll tell you, my last week was crazy. Not that I'm making excuses. I didn't make time to do it. I'll be honest with you. I've got the kind of thing in my head, like, I want to get all this work done, and now I want to focus on next week is getting all these things that have been hanging out for me. So I'm very excited about it. So I will recommit to reaching out to Romeo and getting a yes or no. So that is a commitment. I'll get it one way or the other. I'm going to reach out to him and go, look, this is what we're doing. If you want, here's a link to the video of what we're trying to do. We think we can monetize this idea. We thought you might be interested. And, and I'll call and follow up with them on it. And then either get a yes or no. So my intention is also to reach out to Jack. So next week, Matthew, Joanna, you're going to be speaking. I'm going to reach out to Jack because he said if I'm putting this group together, to tell him about it, and he might come on the call. So my intention is to send that out to him next week. So no pressure.
There might be another fest on the call, is what I'm saying.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad I have something I need to prepare badly, so.
And we're just doing 15 minutes. Is there any new structure, any new direction we're going with our 15 minutes, or?
So the structure piece, like for me, I know what I want to do, and I think this is the playground for us. So obviously Joanna and Brian had something very specific that they wanted to get done. I would say it's, what do you want?
Are you starting over?
I was starting over. I was. We call that a callback. We call that a callback to the comedy.
That's your bookend, huh?
That's my bookend, baby. Such a freaking goofball. All right. So as far as structure, Julie, it's the goal here is to make people better speakers, and if they have events they're leading up to, what it is an open-ended forum for things that you're working on. I mean, okay. For me, I'm going to encourage people to get their speaking, like their 15-minute speech together, something that's really solid 15 minutes. So for you guys, I encourage you to do that, especially since Jack is going to be on the call. Meditate on that for a moment. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to, we'll get some more people. I really feel like, just so you know, I'll do my thankful and gratefuls right now. I feel like this structure is strong. I do. And I think people are going to want to hear the feedback that we've given them. And now that we've kind of practiced this through our pilot, I think we're ready to launch. We'll learn more, as we're going through it. But, this is one of those things where I'm going to start looking to monetize this idea and create other mastermind groups out of this, because it's just valuable to hear different perspectives. And I think, it's a great venue, and I do appreciate all of you playing with me on this idea and all of your insights. So thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Hey,
yeah,
Chris.
thank you guys. Oh.
Chris, can you let us know if Jack is going to be on the? Can you confirm that? Like, if he does say yes, can you give us a heads up on that?
Because Brian doesn't want to have his robe on if.
Brian wants to
That's
go
correct.
big. Yes, he wants to be like Vladimir Putin. Hello.
And we'll have our computers back to back, so we need to fix that feedback issue. So.
Absolutely. So I'll take that as a note for myself. So first, ask.
And if you don't get Romeo or something like that, who are you calling next?
Well, you guys had put out some names there. What were the?
Mike Klein, Rick Petrie. I don't know who else we got that I know are dynamic speakers.
So Mike Klein would be awesome.
So Mike, I remember, I connected with Mike, so I can reach out to, what I'll do is I'll do Romeo and Mike, because we do have 2 slots. That fair?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll reach out to those one. I'm not, the third name, I don't know if I had a real connection. I'd probably know him once I saw him, but what was the third person?
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's a numbers game. It's not everybody's going to be in on it. So,
Right.
What's the call list? So.
Well, let's start with Romeo and Mike, and then we'll expand from there.
All right.
Because look, this is our dynamic works well with the four of us. So I mean, this could be the playground to start. But I would definitely like to get some other polished people. I might reach out to
Xander is one name we mentioned the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Xander also. He was in the middle of his Kaizen event, and that's what he said. I don't know if I can do that right now. So I definitely can reach out to him, and I think he brings a good insight into things. So I've got 3 names on the list. I will reach out to all 3 of them and say, look, we're looking for slots here. The first 3 people on our list. Right.
All right.
And we think we have something that's, a great idea, and it's something that's monetizable. We're kind of handpicking the people we want to be. You're on our short list. Do you want to play or do you not want to play? Tell me.
Hey, Chris, I think this is a good, I don't know, you want to call it a tagline or something, but you've said it a couple times. This is a playground. Hey, this is a playground for your keynote speeches. It's not a stressful pitch. You know what I'm saying? This is your playground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's great feedback. Because what I'll say is, I wanted to experiment with a different kind of structure. I came out with what do you want? Light in your face. And I wanted to try that and get some feedback before I, did it up in front of an audience of 500 people. No, that's good. Thank you, Brian. I think that's a good idea. Hey, look, we got a playground for keynote speakers. You're gonna get great feedback.
And it's Saturday morning, and it sounds a lot less like work.
It's fun. We've got a good group. Come and join.
So I'm thankful and grateful that that when you said Jack might be on a call, I didn't fall off my bar stool because I feel prepared. Just being able to do this a couple of times, and even today, just you calling on me like I was a student in class and, stand up and do your improv. I'm like, I mean, it was easier than it would have been 8 weeks ago or however long we've been doing this. So,
yeah.
I know the messages I've been given, but in the past, but this has challenged me to do things differently and also have a lot more confidence to say yes to the opportunities. I've always said yes before, but I can tell it's working law of attraction and that there's more opportunities that keep coming up. And I feel more confident, especially since some of them are really soon, that I'm going to be able to get what I need from you guys and do the same for you. So I'm grateful and thankful for that.
I know what Matthew's thankful and grateful for right now. I don't know if it has anything to do with our group.
I was going to say we hit that mark, and Mama's got to get going to work, and I could hear her crying out there. A little bit. So, yeah, I'm thankful for you guys, too. It's great to have people to bounce these ideas off of and not just try to do everything on my own at home. So that goes a long way. It really helps. So thank you.
And Brian, you're last.
Well, I'm grateful for being able to be unprepared today and still getting what I need out of it.
Beautiful. All right, Matt, Joanna, you're up next week. Thanks, everybody. Matt, enjoy those beautiful kids.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See ya.
Mm.